Cut the music. Cut the music. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T or just plain OTT. I had to come to y'all today. I normally don't come on Sunday. I would have been here Monday. And I said, you know what? I can't wait that long. It's too many nuggets being dropped in the water. I don't know. Or maybe I should say too many sauna buoys dropped in the water where you can actually walk on top of them sauna buoys and make your way to land. That probably went over some of y'all head. But anyway, y'all heard recently what Deontay Wilder had to say about the PBC or his feelings on how business is for him with the PBC. And he giving validation and you know, making it seem that what Adrian Broner and others have said, is turning out to be true. So I figure I just come on here just right quick, drop a little, couple of things and just get on out here. Our money is in the building. What's Papa King? I see y'all got my notifications on fleek, huh? But I had to come through. Now, a few months ago, we was all up in hay because Bud Crawford dared to ask for something called transparency. I mean, why would he ask for such a thing from Al Heyman called transparency? I mean, this is what people were saying. And then I've even heard somebody say, who the F do he think he is asking for transparency? But every time they shit on Bud, if you just wait a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, it will turn out that you will understand the method to his madness or what he's doing. And it turns out he's always the smarter one. I don't know why these narratives be coming out, why we got to sit through the BS with all this talk, like how dare he ask for transparency? Well, Deontay Wilder is a new shrimp on the Barbie that explains why you have to ask for transparency. All that talk that they want to say AB was crazy. I personally gave my opinion on the whole AB thing. I was like, AB, I personally believe, and I hope I ain't throwing him under the bus when I say this, I think he was playing country dumb, because I think those contracts that those PBC fighters get into, they're never ending. And even when he lets you go, he still have control. This man, Al Heyman, sound like a control freak. But I like to say, AKA the Wizard of Oz. You know how the Wizard of Oz was behind that curtain, acting like he was larger than life. He was so grandiose. But when you pull that joint back, he was a pipsqueak. That's Al Heyman. But Al Heyman being a Harvard grad, I don't know what degree he got, but being a smart, intelligent man, I'll never say he not. But he don't do right by people. Maybe that's why he be incognito all the time. You don't never see him. Sometimes you got to wonder, do he even exist? I mean, if I'm fucking people over out there money all the time, I guess I wouldn't be parlaying out in the open neither. Not saying, something nefarious can happen. I'm just saying, like, how do you hold your head up high when you out there juicing people? And you out there acting like you can't give something as little as transparency to a nigga, that's crazy. So I'm coming to y'all asking y'all the question. Why do y'all think that Terennce Crawford needed transparency? It turns out that he was right again. He saw the play when dealing with PBC. He saw the usury of it all. But why? Why do you think now that Terrence Crawford needed something called transparency? I'll give you a second to think about it. Here we go. I mean, if you think about what AB said and how they get paid or not get paid, you know, you would need something like transparency, right? If you think about what he said about that back money that everybody like to talk about, there's a reason why some of us who have integrity won't talk about the back money because we don't have proof that it exists. We can only go by what people say that it's coming, but we don't know. We don't know if it's coming or not. But think about what Mickey Bay said on 2 interviews. Think about what AB been trying to say. Everything AB had been saying has come true. He said Showtime got problems. The network, that is, like, and they do. He said they don't pay him. They was giving him something like an allowance. How do you give a grown man the money that is his in the form of allowances? And he didn't set it up like that. Why would you do that? I mean, is there any one of us out there that will do a job for free or do a job where we negotiated a certain pay and then after we do the job, find out that we can't get the pay when we supposed to, or we got to hear all this humming. I don't think there's people out there that exist like that. If I do a job for free, I'm doing it for myself. I might be doing it for my parents. I might be doing it for my siblings, family members, or, volunteering or whatever. All of that's understood. But we always said, it's the business. When people come on my show, be like, Miss T, it's the business. Like, your little head doesn't understand the business. I get that it's a business and it's an entertainment business, but it's also prize fighting. And the prize was always understood to be money, the purse of it all. But at PBC, it's turning out that people can't even get the purse. That's probably why a lot of the fighters who's fighting once a year, and I'm talking about the big name fighters, ain't pressed because you ain't getting paid anyway. Imagine not getting a guarantee and promise the back end, but then you don't get the back end. How do you leave a fight, a grueling fight, where your life is on the line, where you can really get seriously hurt in? You get off the stage, you go to the back in the locker room, and you don't get paid. You go home, and you did it all for the free. They don't even have a courtesy to give you a couple of thousand or something. And don't pay me with no motherfucking car or some clothes or a chain. Are you crazy? Put my money in this hand. Pay me in motherfucking nickels. Remember that interview that Terrence Crawford said? He been talking to people and people warned him. And what did Sean Porter say? Yep, I heard about that. Now Deontay then came out and said the same thing pretty much. I'm sure it's a difference in the amount of money that PBC owe each one of them. I bet you $5 that PBC owe Keith Thurman money. I bet you a lot of fighters ain't saying nothing because they don't want to get caught up in a way that they can't get their money at all. I bet you Al Heyman is slick enough where he could get away with never paying them. Because if he go belly up and they file bankruptcy, you ain't getting no money. Whoever he owed that's a fighter, if they file bankruptcy, you ain't getting no money. That opportunity is gone. So if I do a deed and I'm expecting to get paid for this deed, I expect to get paid for this deed. And I know all of us can understand that, even though some of y'all want to be biased. And then you hate the man. You hate Bud Crawford because he won't sign with a user, a charlatan, a grifter. That's what Al Heyman is starting to look like. A grifter, a con man. That's what he's looking like. These are my opinions. I'm only going by what his previous fighters have said. When they say they don't get paid, they got to wait so long to get paid. That's con man shit. You know, I can have an opinion like everybody else. If you promise a pay and then don't pay it, you con that person. There's no other way to describe that. You got people running for the hills because they know it's the beginning to the end over there. I told y'all too that in my personal opinion, that PBC is either gonna really try to play up that Showtime app, and that's a thought of mine that's come recently. But at first, I was saying that I believe that PBC is gonna try to go the way of the zone. And I wondered, would Eddie Hearn support that? Would he block that? I don't know. Our money said, Miss T, my baby not even two. And he says, water check. What's up? Shout out to your baby. All right. Water check, water check, water check. That's for our money's little baby. Hey, little man, drink that water. I'm assuming it's a little dude, little baby. Dan Tan is in the building. What's Poppy King? He said, Miss T on the Sunday morning, salute Queen. And he said, Dan Tan said, salute our money. Look at the Queen is up in the house. Miss Tiana Fight. She said, hello, Miss T in chat. Hey, PGH Big Dog said, salute Queen T. What's poppin'? PGH Big Dog said, Bud is MF Duck signing with Gold, the boy, disgraceful. Now, I heard the reports on that too. We don't know if that's all the way true. I don't know. I'll just wait on that one. 512 Boxing, aka Big Texas. He said, yo, what's poppin'? What's poppin', King? He said, Al Heyman did the biggest fights in boxing and made Michael Jackson, Drake, and Beyonce millions. You listening to dumbass AB. Stop the BS. You sound more like Fred. Hey, PGH, Al Heyman still owe Beyonce. And from what I hear in them streets, he fucked a lot of entertainers over. They are owed money that he didn't see all the way through or something. So I don't know, PGH. They wasn't happy with his final conclusion. That's why he moseyed his ass on over to the boxing side, probably. Dan Ted said, I'll pay you on Wednesday for a hamburger today. And your Blimp, what was his name? Blimpy? What was that dude's name? Dan Ted, I remember that shit. Blimpy or something? How money said 50 honest. She said, our money. I ain't gonna stay long, but I'm just saying. I don't have to pull up receipts. Y'all can go find it. The Fight Hub interview with Bernard Hopkins. He basically spilled the beans too. Y'all should go check that out. Deontay Wilder, I'm not sure what YouTube channel it was on, but he basically said the same thing. Mickey Bay said the same thing. AB said the same thing. Sean Porter confirmed it. What more do y'all need? Oh, I know. Some of y'all gonna say, well, he didn't do that to Canelo. Canelo ain't gonna take that shit. Some people is not gonna say nothing because they don't want to tear their draws. They want to play possum until they get their money. I always told y'all maybe he owe Keith Thurman $10 million. That's why Keith Thurman always hollering about this magical $10 million. I'm telling y'all, In the end, when it blows up in smoke, or it be gone like the wind. Talking about PBC, watch how everybody got a story to tell. But these boxers, if you know, like I know, you gotta take your career into your own hand. Even you, Earl Spence, you gotta take your career into your own hand. It doesn't seem that PBC is doing right by their fighters. I don't care if they put on some of the biggest fights. They came with a good game plan in the beginning and they departed from it. They didn't spend their money wisely. I'm not gonna say they overpaid their fighters, but they didn't spend their money wisely. They were a gimmick. And that's what you're starting to see. Let me tell you something. And I live by this principle. Coercive force without any legitimacy is always doomed to fail. Coercive force in this instance would be the gimmicky stuff like making people come to you and jump on the bandwagon because you so great. You're putting on fights for free. So the fans gonna love you. You're gonna get notoriety as a fighter. You're gonna be able to come up. This is your opportunity. When you do get paid, you're gonna get paid big. Bigger than what you were getting paid before. That's the gimmick. That's the coercive force. To make people bow down to you. But then you had no legitimacy. Because you put yourself first and your profits first. Al Heyman is not a failure in making himself money. He's a failure in longevity when it comes to making other people's money. If you put your life and your career in his hands, he will fail you every time. That's what it appears to be. And all you got to do is ask people like AB, Mickey Bay. Now you can ask Deontay Wilder. Ask Terrence Crawford. Ask who else? Just other fighters. When they get tired and they be beat down enough, you'll see them come out the woodwork and tell their story. Jake Paul left. He said fake news, Drake rapping about Al Heyman still sending him checks. Okay, whatever. PGH Big Dog, yeah, Drake's still getting back in money. Yeah, Beyonce got a problem with him. If he's stealing, why ain't the fighters sue him like Bob Arum and Don King? Fake motherfucking news. PGH, you tell me because I never mentioned the word stealing. You can do people wrong without stealing. Logan Paul still ain't get his money, but Logan Paul signed a contract, so he ain't gonna get his money. That's why you need what I and Terrence Crawford like to call transparency. You need it in your life. 35% of what? A lot of people don't understand that you got to reach a certain amount of pay-per-views before you even eligible to get any back money. That's both parties. And if you're getting 35% of the net, that means you got to wait till everybody get paid. So again, what's important here? Transparency is a must. Bud Crawford could have easily walked out that whole situation without getting paid. Al Heyman would have got paid. He'd have made sure he gave Earl Spence something, I'm sure. The networks would have got paid. Everybody would have got paid. But it was a big possibility that the one person who put in the work too would not have gotten paid, and that's Bud Crawford. That's why he said 35% of what? He said, all I'm asking for. I'll take all that other bullshit you handing out. But all I'm asking for is a little transparency. And Al couldn't give it that to him. So I never used the word stealing, PGH. That's your word. PGH, you sound dumb as hell. Stop waving your tampons in everybody's face. Sit your dumb ass up. Listen to Miss T Cook. Tough Club Boxing is in the building. Was Poppy King. That PGA. He said Tough Club Boxing. Shut the fuck up. I say what the fuck I want, dumbass. Keep my name out your mouth. I think I struck a little nerve with PGH because he know it's true. Hey, y'all know I've been saying forever since I had this channel. This what country? What country I said it was? Let me see if y'all been paying attention. Let me see. What country have I said it was? Let me give it a second. What country I always say this was over here? I said this is country. Who one of my favorite fighters? Y'all gonna tell me? Look, I see y'all don't want to participate. Bump y'all in. I said this is Deontay Wilder country. I've been saying that. And as far as being at the PBC, Deontay Wilder was the big fish, not Earl. Earl ain't never reached no pay-per-views amounts that Deontay did. So it was Deontay Wilder who was the big fish over there. And look what he's saying. PGH, you can't get mad at people telling their truths. That's why I'm here on the Sunday. I said, Lord knows. Lord. I can't wait till Monday. I can't wait till Monday to drop this. That's what I'm doing, PGH. I am just beyond tickled. Oh my God. When I heard Deontay say that, that was the laugh that I got. Modern King Boxing is in the building. What's poppin', King? Said, morning, Queen Miss T. And then PGA said, Tank the biggest star right now. No. See, PGH, you like to leave out convenient truths like what's the guy? Steven Espinoza, I believe, did this in 2014. Decided that he will not no longer release pay-per-view numbers for Showtime. He wasn't going to do it no more because people then got caught up in it. And I say this all the time on here. If people will let Floyd be Floyd and and understand that what Floyd had is what Floyd had. That's what he was blessed with. That shit don't mean it's going to recreate. Everybody wants to have for their career somebody come of what Floyd had in his. But I don't see these same people wanting to do exactly what he did. You can't be nobody but yourself. You know, Floyd got you into counting these pay-per-view numbers and making all of that a standard or a marker measurement. That was Floyd. Why would you even go down that route? It makes you look stupid. Take Errol Spence, your boy, for example. He looks stupid thinking he the big fish and thinking he's some pay-per-view star. His numbers are a drop in the bucket. You can't see when Floyd got his pay-per-view, his first one, it did great numbers. And every pay-per-view after that increased. Now, just oppose that to Errol Spence's career. His first pay-per-view big numbers with Mikey Garcia was 350. And every pay-per-view after that has decreased. So right there off the back, off the motherfucking dick, is different. Right there is different. Floyd's highest pay-per-view, he broke the records. He kept breaking his own record. The highest pay-per-view ever It's Floyd Mayweather's. 4.6 million. What is 350,000 to 4.6 million? A drop in the motherfucking bucket. So that is the benchmark, ladies and gentlemen. That is the measurement to beat. And you can't say, oh, because people stealing, it can never be done. You can't say can't. It's the benchmark. You don't break the sound barrier and then make a standard of measurement less than a sound barrier. You don't do that. You don't go backwards. One thing we have never been able to accomplish scientifically is break the speed of light. We have never been able to break that. And I don't know if we ever will in my lifetime. What it would take to break the speed of light. But you broke the sound barrier. You can't now say, oh, we almost broke the sound barrier. You can't make the benchmark less than the sound barrier. You can't do that. You can't go backwards. Floyd, 4.6 million. You can't now say 350,000 is the standard. Or is a mark of being a pay-per-view star. Come on now. PGA said, I never disrespected you, Queen. I just disagree. I ain't say you disrespected me. I didn't say that. I don't know. If I disrespected you, PGH, I apologize to you right here, right now. And for everybody to hear, I'm not into the disrespect. I do speak facts, but I'm not into the disrespect. So I apologize to you, PGH, and that was never my intent. PGA said Tank breaking records in every arena. Don't listen to them fake pay-per-view numbers. He's not doing what y'all think he's doing in pay-per-view. You have to have facts. And if Showtime is not releasing those numbers, then who is? If you're not attached to a network or affiliated with a network, how would you know? How would I know? How would anybody in YouTube know? The point is, nobody would know unless you're plugged in to Showtime where they can get the numbers, and Showtime is not releasing it. So even that wouldn't work. Or you're plugged in to a network that will give you that information. Anybody who don't have that kind of positioning and telling you numbers, they're lying. Modern King said, I'm not buying Al Heyman Ponzi scheme fights anymore. Keith versus Earl, a sellout fight to real boxing heads. I'm not neither, Modern King. I'm complete all the way boycott of PBC because I don't like how they do business. I don't like how they use people. I'm not even talking about Bud Crawford no more. Like as far as PBC tried to use him, Bud seen him coming. Y'all seen my thumbnail? He saw the play coming. So he was like, fuck no. I'm not with PBC and the way they use people. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not necessary. You know, these fighters give up a lot. You know, we all struggle in our own life. You know, I'm over here struggling with my medical stuff, trying to get right, and it's a struggle. You know how disciplined I gotta be to do some of this stuff. And I think about the discipline it takes to get ready for a fight and the discipline it takes to do what you got to do under pressure in that ring with the lights on you. I can't. These are real humans. And you playing them and you using them. And for anybody to think that that's okay, it's not. It's not okay for them to do any of you guys. I wouldn't think it's okay for you guys to get played or used in any aspect of your life. So I don't like Al Heyman and how he do people. That shit is for the birds. PGA's Big Dog said every one of these promotional companies on some BS, Queen, all doing in-house fights and not giving fans the big fights, not just PBC. But I don't see it that way, PGH, because I think Golden Boy will cross the street, as they say. I know that Top Rank does, and Eddie Hearn has to and have done. PBC the only one. Floyd Mayweather made that declaration. I'm gonna say MKB. He said, great analogy. They are trying to break the sound barrier for stupidity and what a PBP pay-per-view consists of. Yeah. Monica said, what's good at our money? PGA said, Rick Grim Reaper Glazier keep putting out fake numbers. He got a plug in with the networks, PGH, whether we like it or not. And again, I'm not so objectionable about the Floyd Mayweather era. I thank God that I was here to witness it myself. Because when you hear about the old fighters and you be like, man, it would have been nice to been able to been there yourself. But I ain't want to be born in the 30s and 40s and shit. I'm glad I was born when I was. What's up, Q? I see you. I see you, King. Good morning, Miss T. Good morning to you. So I'm glad that I got to be a witness, in the Floyd Mayweather era. I'm happy that he was able to be successful and was able to do what he has accomplished. And I'm not, please forgive me, white folks, Mexicans, Asians, or whoever else. I am proud of my race. And so this is why I say it like this. And it was a black man that was able to do all that stuff in Floyd Money Mayweather. So, even though Floyd could be annoying or aggravating in other ways, I'm very proud of that black man. But I understand that what he did was for him. When Floyd was able to maneuver and get around and circumvent, beat them at their own game in a sense, you think that the powers that be was sitting back clapping their hands? No, they was like, don't you let another nigga do this shit again. And when they met nigga, they ain't give a fuck what color. They were like, oh, it's just like if you find something out, I'm old enough to remember when FICO scores wasn't that a big deal when it come to your credit. But once people realized how to beat interest rates, then you came with FICO score for each credit bureau, and then you came with compound interest per day. All that shit went around long time ago. Every time you figure something out, they figure out a way to get you back to how they want you. When I be dropping knowledge and stuff like this, pretty soon, the filters and the shower head thing that I be trying to advocate for everybody to buy. Matter of fact, let me put that picture up. I know y'all like Miss T. Put that picture up. Let me get this comment off. Y'all copy down that link and go get you one. Every household should have one. But you know what? When everybody start figuring this shit out, guess what's gonna happen? Them shit's gonna cost a lot of money. I bought this for the price of taking a family out to the movies. It didn't cost me that much. And guess what? It's a game changer. Because if you got kids with skin disorders, or you got skin disorders, or you having trouble growing your hair, and simple shit, it's gonna change your life. Why? Because the water is contaminated. Even though they treat it, it's contaminated. So it's coming out your contaminated, corroded shower head, which you're supposed to change every 6 months, and then onto your skin and seeping through your skin into your body and causing havoc. That part. So I hip you to the game, something I just learned and figured out. And so then, you know what? You guys, if y'all just influx them, if people all over the world be on top of that, you're going to sit around and wait for the man who like to deregulate and cut corners. That's your Republican Party for you. But like to cut corners and don't pay the money that it costs to get the proper resource to treat the water and shit. You guys just want to put your trust in all that. I'm not doing that. Because I know they cutting corners. I know that shit in the water that they use to treat it is toxic. That's a fact. So I tell you these things and watch. That's going to be big. People going to be buying that shit. Just like before I went overseas in the 90s, everybody was drinking tap water. Who drinking tap water now? So that business that decided to get into bottled water and spring water and shit. Look how much money they making. Cause who the fuck drink tap water now? But in the early 90s and 80s they did, and 70s and before then, people drank tap water. I'm saying get with the program. I showed y'all the picture so y'all can get the link. It'll take you right there. Better jump on it. The price be going up, but hey, it's worth it. It's worth it. You will fuck that money off anyway. And I'm gonna say Quentin Brandley. Martin King said PBC old real boxing fans. Crawford versus Spence ain't our fault. He can't make weight, drop the belts, and all is settled. Indeed. PGA's big dog, they all have pros and cons for sure. The our money. It said at Miss T, what you think about Wilder still making excuses? He said whoever cheats better wins between Usyk and Fury. See, I don't see Wilder as making excuses. If you feel that you was done wrong, then you feel that you was done wrong. I had to make a concerted effort to even stop talking about that Wilder Fury fight because y'all know that I feel that first fight and third fight, in the third fight I was at, I saw it with my own eyes. Wilder would have won the fight if you followed the rules and treated him fairly. I don't even talk about the second fight, even though it's a whole lot of shit. And then facts like, y'all want me to forget the facts. Like, there's no human hand on earth that can put a dent in a human skull. It isn't one. I don't give a fuck how big the person is and how strong they are. There's no human hand that can do that. Wilder had a dent in his head, and he had to have surgery pretty much not long after that fight to correct that shit. His skull was dented. And until somebody can explain that to me, I'll remain believing what I believe about that second fight. But I don't talk about it because it's controversial and ain't nothing going to happen with it. But the only two things I'm going to talk about, I've seen Jack Reese stop fights for less. And in that first fight, Tyson Fury was out cold. You don't count over no out cold person. That should be self-explanatory. But I looked up in the rules book. It don't say either way. That's why, to me, Wilder won that first fight. I don't give a fuck about all the rounds. The nigga was out cold. He should have lost. Talking about Tyson Fury. Third fight. You can make an argument 17 or 15 seconds. I saw it. The British people I was sitting around saw it. And they said, sorry, love. What can you do? And they were very nice. Shout outs to the British people that came over, Tyson Fury fans. They're very nice people. Very decent, nice people. I had a great time sitting by them. And it was just fun. And I comported myself well. My crew that was with me, we were on our best behavior. We was just acting like we know how to act, you know what I'm saying? Like adults and everything. And everybody had a good time, even though you had Fury fans, you had Wilder fans. And it could have been rabid dog going up against each other like just crazy or just being, just acting stupid. But no, we adults. We know it's just the game. It's just boxing. You know what I'm saying? But some people get way passionate about it. But I'm not that passionate that I gotta lie. And so that's what makes me go over the top. Is when people act like they ain't got no common sense and say crazy stuff like you don't understand why this nigga would have wanted some damn motherfucking transparency. Like he asked for too much. And when I heard that one person on somebody's show that said, who the F do he think he is? I was like, really? He think he's somebody who's taking care of himself. You hate him. He doesn't hate him. Martin King said, I'm old school. I live off spring water, not city queen. Yeah, I drink nothing but spring water too. He said, you streaming early. Yeah, I couldn't hold this one, Tay. What's up, Tay? What's in the building, King? How you doing at school, Tay? I wasn't going to be long. This is supposed to be like a little 10 or 15 minute things. Y'all came through like gangbusters. It's a Martin King boxer said, you still have to purify the water though. I don't know. I just drink it straight from the bottle. Joseph Bailey is in the building. Was Papa King said, Miss T, what's good? Glad you feel better. Everybody keep drinking that water. Indeed. Martin King boxer said the first fight, Wilder should have went to neutral corner. He might have got a quicker count. It's the celebration that get the longer counts, I think. No, but see, that ain't even my point, Martin King, but I hear you on that. My point was fear was unconscious. How you count over an unconscious person is beyond me. And I've seen a lot of Jack Reed's fights and was a fan of him as a referee until that day. And then he tore his draws with me because I've seen him stop fights for less. Okay. PGA said Fury got history of cheating. PED cheat. Gloves cheat. Refs calling out Fury for being the dirtiest cheater. Stop the cap. Never heard anything about Usyk though. I ain't said nothing about Usyk, PGH. You be in your own world sometimes. I didn't say nothing about that. I heard that he was talking about that, but I ain't got nothing to say about that. I didn't bring that up. My whole thing was Wilder has now came out and pretty much confirmed what Mickey Bay, what AB been saying. And let's face it, y'all. No matter how you feel about AB, what he has said about PBC has come true. It's come true. You can feel how you want, but it came true. Martin King Boxer said I had Wilder winning first fight regardless. Yeah. But it's the way the cards are dealt. Sometimes when you lose, you actually win. I don't know. Wilder is he's living his life. He's living his best life. He started off from a genuine perspective. He didn't want money to be the thing in between his daughter getting the best care that she should get and deserve to get, and not being able to do it. And he knew as a father, he felt like he put that responsibility on his shoulders. That's what being a grown ass man is about. And a grown ass woman. Women do it too, but we talk about this grown ass man who was like, my daughter got an issue. I know it's going to cost money in the future, and I can't look at nobody or let it be known or that my daughter can't get the help that she need because daddy don't have no money. You can't do nothing but respect that. And who knew? Not even he knew that it was going to lead to all this stuff. That nigga didn't know, because if he knew, he would have been planning that shit. He'd have been boxing since he was 8 years old. He didn't know. He just made wise decisions. That's all. Everybody shit on him, but the dude is awesome, and he will be a legendary fighter. That's why he's one of my favorite fighters. That's why I always say it's Deontay country over here, followed by Terrence Crawford. Really, they both number ones over this bitch. You know, I like Terrence Crawford for a whole myriad of reasons that has nothing to do with the PBC or Earl Spence Jr. So, because I like him like that, I'm not one of them people that hate Earl Spence. But I know it's a lot of people that hate Terrence Crawford because they love Earl Spence. I don't like a lot of shit that Earl Spence do. Don't agree with it. Do think that it's some nefarious and malicious shit going on with him and the PBC. But I ain't got to go searching for it, because all things done in the dark will come out to light. I don't have to search for it. You already seeing it. Look at the karma. Look at how he was so mad at Keith Thurman. Y'all got to ask yourself, why? Why was he mad at Keith Thurman? Because Keith kept being injured and kept avoiding him and ducking him. This was what Earl felt. It's always an excuse why we can't get the fight on. Because Earl was anxious. He felt he was a champion. He felt he was better than everybody in the 147-pound division, and he wanted that hardware, as any fighter in the business should want. And Keith was holding that shit up in his eyes. So he hates Keith for what he put him through. He made him wait. He put him on a back burner. He made him feel insignificant. I could go on and on and on. But Earl Spence, what you think you doing now? What you think you doing to Boots? What you think you doing to Stanionis? And for God's sake, what you think you doing to Bud Crawford? You're doing the same thing. We got to sit and wait because of your injuries. We got to wonder, are you even coming back to 147 because you asked, can you fight at 154 and keep your belts in at the same time? Make it make sense, y'all. Hold your boy accountable. That's all I'm saying. PGA said, did Wilder mention PBC by name? Nope. We don't know who he was talking about. Well, PGA, you can look at it that way. I'm going to say PBC because that's who he signed with. Who else is he signed with? Nobody else. Who else has he been signed with? Nobody else. He signed with PBC. So why would I think it's somebody else? It's either PBC, Golden Boy, or Mayweather, which Mayweather say he is PBC, or Eddie Hearn, or Bob Arum. But Wilder is signed with PBC and always have been. So who else he talking about? Now, also a little nugget that dropped. It's being reported that Terennce Crawford is signed with Golden Boy. I don't know if that's all the way true. I know that it seems like it, and I'm willing to rock with the fact that it may be true, but I always reserve myself to say, I want to be prepared just in case that don't turn out to be the case. I'm not objectionable to it. Bud Crawford is going on with his life. I'm not saying he's like, fuck the Earl fight or whatever. I think he got to go on with his life. Earl don't want to fight him. It's evidently clear, and I'm not even mad about it. You don't want to fight the dude. You got good reasons for why you don't want to fight the dude, because he going to piece your ass up. But if that's what, hey, if you don't want to fight him, you don't want to fight him. But, there's a fight with Virgil. With that dude, Rocha, or whatever. Golden Boy promoted damn near all of Floyd's fights, especially towards the end, and made Floyd damn near a billionaire. So, Golden Boy has the tools and the resources. If he got some smart people behind the company that can help Terrence or whatever. Terrence became independent. So his fight with David Avenesian, he was his own promoter. But, now that he's been independent, now that's a problem. That's a problem with getting fights because he don't even got a promoter. He needs to be signed to somebody. Anybody who's recommending Terrence Crawford to go to Al Heyman, a.k.a. the Wizard of Oz, it's crazy. When this dude is a grifter and a charlatan. And I'm not, I could say allegedly, but I feel like, in my opinion, it's not. How many people got to come out and say how this man do business? It's one thing to shit on people in certain ways. It's another thing to not pay people fairly, especially if they did their end of the bargain. That's terrible. That's horrible. And that's not doing good business. That's being a charlatan. That's being a grifter, a con man, a user. So why would any of Errol Spence fans, or I'm going to just start calling them haters, because they're either their PBC lovers or Errol Spence lovers. And so together they Bud haters. But why would you, even as a hater, recommend somebody go to somebody to be flogged and whipped in broad daylight and used over and over again? Why would you do that? Why would that be normal to do? Why would that be a good thing to do to Bud? I mean, you have to sit back and ask yourself, you don't know this man. What has he ever done to you? He chose to be a boxer. He went in the ring. He tried to make fights, and he won his fight spectacularly. He's a future Hall of Famer. We can say that today. We can't say that about everybody, but we can say that about him. And he's done with what you would want a fighter to do: win championships, be undisputed, Ring Magazine, Lineal Championship. He's done a lot of things that Errol Spence don't even know how that feels. But because you love Errol Spence so much, you act like this man's supposed to be damned, be hated, uh, be used and abused, be dogged the fuck out, and that's funny to y'all. I don't get that. I don't even want that for Errol Spence. If there was an entity or organization out there that have shown their disdain for Errol Spence, I would not advocate for Errol Spence to go nowhere near them people. Ever. So I don't even know why that's what they want for Bud, but it don't matter. Bud was right again. That was my thumbnail. And like I said, I wasn't planning on being here that long, but since most of y'all came through, I figure I'll hang on just a little bit. Martin King Boxer said PGA's big dog Wilder a beta. He claimed he about that life, but he's scared to say exactly what is happening. But we know what he meant. Look at you, Martin King. Me and you gonna disagree. Agree to disagree. Wilder got payment screwed by PBC. You know, I mean, I don't know how many people gotta say it. And a lot of people be like, don't be like Fred. I'm not like Fred. I don't mirror Fred in no kind of way. Me and Fred got big differences. But when Fred right, I mean, what you want me to do? Fred been complaining about PBC for a minute, and everything he's saying has turned out to be right. What y'all want me to do? Y'all gonna have to give it up one day. I guess when it's real apparent in your face, y'all can be like, but anyway, that's old news. Y'all ain't want to talk about it. But y'all got to give it up. I mean, PBC, Al Heyman is not as successful as y'all keep trying to say he is. Ask Beyonce, is he successful? See what she say about it. Y'all take things out of context. I know that you love your boy, but you can love your boy and be honest and be truthful at the same time. And let me say this one more time to my boy, to my brother PGH Big Dog. If I disrespected you in this live, then I apologize, because like that got me feeling a certain way, because never will it ever be my intent to disrespect you. You one of my day ones, and even though we don't agree on shit most of the time, I love you like a brother. Um, he said PBC a sinking ship, point blank period. Point blank period. Yes, he is. PGA said Wilder is a stand-up black man. No beta about him. Also, we do got another thing we agree on. He is. That's what I believe about Wilder. Okay, but hey, some of y'all ain't gonna take his word for it. But again, like if Martin King, if you know PBC been with the shit, and you know that they like you just said, they on the sinking ship. Let me ask you right quick. I ain't gonna say it too long, but let me ask you right quick. Do you believe what Wilder was saying? He said, no, Queen, I wasn't talking about you. Oh, okay. All right. My bad. I thought you was talking about me, PGH. So Martin King, do you believe what Wilder was saying about PBC not paying him? Because he could only be talking about PBC. He said, I've been known, Queen. I watch you. I watch it, and yes, I believe Wilder. Okay, cool. See, that's what I was trying to say. And PGH, I want you to see that. He's not a big fan of Wilder, but he believes what he say. that's showing that he not a biased type person. You don't have to like somebody to read the tea leaves in the writing on the wall. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, Monica. PGA said, but I repeat, Wilder never called out PBC by name. See, this is what I'm saying, PGA. You gotta get out. You gotta get out your feelings, dog. Wilder cannot be talking about nobody else. Come on, man. We got to do common sense. Like I said, 2023, the chaos is gone. Common sense will prevail. No hypocrisy. Nah, I'm shutting all that shit down. Nope. He only fought with PBC. So he can only be talking about PBC. Who else gave him a check? PBC. Period. Monica said, I like Wilder. I just criticized. That's cool. He said, I'm used to old school heavyweights. Like I told y'all, I respect all of y'all opinions and everything, no matter how different they are from mine. I just couldn't let this day go by without laughing. Let me get my little laugh on. Hold on, where is that? Is it right here? Oh no. I don't want to hit the wrong thing. Damn, I messed that up all the way. That's Miss T laughing, y'all. Soon as I heard what Wilder said, I was like, A.B. Mickey Bay. Y'all can run, but you can't hide. Mike Jones coming up in the rear. What's popping, King? He said Crawford ducking. Mike Jones, you know better than that. PGH said, why can't he be facts over feelings? He never said PBC. Facts. Wilder met with the zone too. Met and worked for is two different things. Wilder checks came from PBC. And Mike Jones, let me know how Spence's career turns out, champ. Yeah. The Wizard of Oz. Think about how the story went. It was a phony. He said Mickey Bay was talking about TNT and Al. He was very careful with his words about Al, but he was talking about them. Al is a very powerful man. And let me tell you something. Al is very successful with making his money. He ain't successful making other people money. I don't care what nobody say. You owe motherfuckers millions and you done it one too many times. Like I said, ask Beyonce, is he good? Alphabet Boys heard exactly what Wilder was talking about, and then they played like they didn't understand. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. They're going to lose their plug with him. I comprehend very well, chat true media. Wilder couldn't be no more clear. He couldn't be no more clear. And y'all can act like that he wasn't talking about Al Heyman and PBC or not. Y'all can do whatever you want. But he was talking about them guys. Ain't nobody, Eddie Hearn ain't cut Wilder no check. Motherfucking Golden Boy Oscar ain't cut Wilder no check. What's his name? Bernard Hopkins. You don't want to listen to him? You can go listen to his interview. He talks about how that shit is. And why would you think all these people saying this shit? You know, just to make it up? Then there's facts like Showtime said in 2014 they are no longer putting out pay-per-view numbers, but yet you got all these people who have no kind of affiliation to Showtime or no plug into the network. Rick Glaser do. He has a plug with the network, but none of us in YouTube community got it. But we want to say that those numbers are real, or they not real when we don't like them. It's crazy, man. Crawford fighting Alex Rocha. What fight? I don't know. It could be Virgil Ortiz. Crawford still on his bum bad shit. C-level Rocha lost to Speedy Ellis. Disgraceful. Hey, well, when the big fish don't want to fight you, what you gonna do? Al Heyman has to keep letting his fighters go. That's the only solution. Yep. I mean, PGH and all them gonna see in the end, and I just want them to be honest enough to say we was right. When I'm like that dude said, when I say who's the master, I want you to say, sure enough. Yeah, I'm a person that say, I told you so. I'm that nigga. Nah, I be petty like that. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to y'all ahead of time. He said, or the Ali Act petition is coming soon. 10,000 are going to make a change. Al Heyman has found a way to circumvent that. I remember when everybody loved Al Heyman. Now everybody hate him. Unloyal. Mike Jones. Mike Jones. It's easy to be unloyal to a charlatan or a grifter. Okay. You can have 1,000 attaboys. Like, good on you. Great job. And you make one mishap. And that will negate all those attaboys. That's life, dog. What have you done for me lately? And lately, Al Heyman has been a grifter, a charlatan, a user. And you can't get around that shit. When you don't pay people what you owe, that's what you are. Martin King said, wow, and Mike Jones, come on, box or die, and speak what you putting down, champ. But you guys, that's all I had. I'm so grateful that you guys popped in and check me out. I'll be here tomorrow. But this couldn't wait. I was actually going to try to do like a 15, 20-minute little short because I just thought it was funny how all these people tried to downgrade AB and try to make it seem like he didn't know what he was talking about. But yeah, everything he said has come to fruition. It has happened. And then you got the big man himself, Deontay Wilder, saying the same shit. Y'all gonna learn. Al Heyman didn't pit the best versus the best when they were available. Because Al Heyman don't give a fuck about nobody but Al Heyman. If Top Rank doesn't, I'll be on them as well. You know, Al Heyman is selfish, man. He's a selfish kind of guy. It's a new day. It's 2023. Call a spade a spade. Anywho, y'all know that's it for me. I won't go keep y'all too long. So, in my Pamela James voice, peace. Oh, and ATL, if you're watching, I tried to come to your show. I made my tea for the night, came back, did my normal routine I do for the night, and you was off the air. But I'm going to try to holler at you tomorrow. All right, peace. But I did catch your show. All right, peace.